my age and how I am presenting. I need to be mature, 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 mature. And this reality is truth for most immigrant daughters, most firstborn immigrant daughters. And I didn't realize how much of myself that I was suffocating because of that reality. So I am breaking that mold and I am breaking that stigma and I am breaking out of that narrative that is not my story anymore. That is just a part of my story.
Back in the O, straight from the 8. I'm walking with God, I don't need a drink. The devil be talking, I don't entertain. I'm walking in faith, I'm sowing my seed. I did it in faith, I gave it to God, and He made it great. Put me in good soil and took out the snakes.
Hey, family members.
How y'all doing?
Every time I come back on here, I say that I'm ashamed for being gone. But to be very honest, I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed for being gone. 2025 has been a year. 2025 has tried to take so many things from me, and I'm just not ashamed for not showing up. But today, we are actually going to be having a girl chat. It's been so long since we've had a girl chat, but before we get to it, we are at 1,000 subs. 1,000 subs! Y'all, this is actually crazy. You guys know how much I've talked about this. For the fact that we're at 1,000 subs, like, yeah, high five. I love that for us, and I love that for me. And if you're new here, welcome to the family. If you're not new, this is literally the coolest crew on the internet. Subscribe and get acquainted, period. So we're heading into the new year, as you all know. And one thing that happens when people are heading to the new year, they make new year resolutions and they write down what they're going to do, what they're not going to do. But as for me, I am not making new year's resolutions. I'm making prayer requests and what I want God to do for me, because don't get it twisted. Love is a beautiful thing.
Don't get it twisted, love is a beautiful thing. It's done jazzy again.
And I'm going to pray on it because I have found that works for me. So you do what works for you, but New Year's resolutions don't work for me. I'm going to list 5 things that I have learned in 2025 that I will be taking with me in 2026 as a badge of honor, as a badge of knowledge, because we live, we learn, period. So the first thing that I learned in 2025 was to stop belittling myself, and not just belittling myself physically, but belittling myself spiritually. There's a lot of things that I did this year that I will never do next year coming up. And one of those things, for example, is limiting the hand of God. And when I say limiting the hand of God, I mean that I didn't fully believe in the power of God 100%. My belief was like at a 75%. So there was a lot of things that God could not do because my belief was at that 75%. So in 2026, my belief is at 200%. I'm about to be the most delusional girl to ever walk this earth. And you know what they say about delusion? Delusion is just faith in disguise. So I am going to be faithful, and I am going to be delulu, and I'm going to be deluded, period. In 2025, I held back a lot because I was scared to be by myself, and crazy coming from me, but there was a lot of things that I didn't do because I didn't want to do it by myself. And I put so much emphasis on friendships, which I've always done. I've always been a friend girl. 2025 taught me the really hard lesson of being by myself, being able to do things by myself. And I learned that lesson because I had an old friend try to rekindle our friendship, and it made me think about the old times and how things were good. And you know, the delusion of memory, when you remember things, most times you don't remember the bad things. You remember the relationship being all rosy, and that's the stain, is it the rosy glass or the stained glass effect? And that had me for a little bit, and then I came back to reality. I realized that it wasn't really what I thought it was, and I needed to be more realistic. And in being realistic, I made the decision that I wouldn't go back, and that I need to be okay with that relationship being done. And obviously that was hard, but hard things need to be done and hard decisions need to be made. So that decision was made, and I'm not going back. So number 3, I am never going to sleep on myself again. And I probably say this every single year, but every single year I realize how much I am sleeping on myself and how much potential that I am wasting because I'm sleeping on myself. So this year I published my 2nd poetry collection, and in publishing that collection I realized that I've been sitting on a lot of my talent, and I've been limiting myself a lot. So moving into the next year, if it comes here and my hands are able to do it, it will be done. So y'all prepare to be sick of me, because that's the kind of time I'm on. It really just dawned on me that we are on borrowed time, and for as many times as I've had a mental breakdown about my mortality, which is like every other week. I tell my friend all the time, I'm like, I am having a mental breakdown about my mortality, what the hell. But for as many times as I've had a mental breakdown about my mortality, I think it's time to actually take matters into my own hands and do what I really want to do. So moving on into the next year, you will be seeing more of me doing the things that I'm capable of doing and not holding myself back anymore. So cheers to that. So moving on into 2026, I will be giving myself more grace. This year, I did give myself grace a lot more than I previously had, but into the next year, I will be giving myself more grace, and that is grace to make mistakes and grace to be human and grace to be myself. This year, I finally came to terms with my diagnosis of ADHD, and I got medicated, and that has made the world of difference for me. And in that process of accepting the diagnosis, because I've always had the diagnosis for a very long time, but in accepting the diagnosis and accepting help, I realized that a lot of the things that I have faulted myself on were really not my fault. It was just executive dysfunction. And you can't make sense of executive dysfunction if you are dysfunctioning while you're trying to make sense of it. So I gave myself grace, and I cried when I needed to. I talked to my therapist, and I'm good. So moving forward, I'm going to be gooder, and we're going to be goodest. Lastly, moving into 2026, I am going to be more whimsical. So this year, around the summer, when I published my second portrait collection, it really dawned on me that I was siphoning this whimsical, childlike wonder girl that is inside of me. So I let her breathe, and I let her explore, and I let her out. And that has made the world of difference for me. That has made a world of difference for the people around me. And that has made a world of difference for my creative process, my writing process, even in designing. You can tell that I'm more childlike, but I am just allowing her to be. If I wake up and I want to do pigtails, I will be doing my pigtails. If I want to wear my pom-poms, I will wear my pom-poms. If I want to wear a floral dress, I will be doing that. And if I just want to skip around, I will skip around. I think so much of my existence has been wrapped around my age and how I am presenting. I need to be mature. And this reality is truth for most immigrant daughters, most firstborn immigrant daughters. And I didn't realize how much of myself that I was suffocating because of that reality. So I am breaking that mold, and I am breaking that stigma, and I am breaking out of that narrative that is not my story anymore. That is just a part of my story. So this chapter of my life is whimsy. I am whimsy. And that doesn't mean that I'm not going to be serious or mature when need be, but default setting, whimsy. So yeah, with the program, those are just the main goals that I'm going to be working on for the next year. What are your goals? Let me know your goals in the comment section. And as for this channel, if I'm going to be consistent or not, as the spirit leads. I'm not going to sit here and give you guys no schedule anymore. We've done that enough. And as the spirit leads, I will be consistent. But the growth of the channel obviously is still my priority, and I will work on it whenever I can. And I'm not going to beat myself up anymore if I can't. So that is that. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming to Girl Chat. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and what are your goals for 2025? No, 2026. I will be seeing you. Until then, I love you guys so much. Bye-bye.
I'm walking in faith, I'm sowing my seed. I did it in faith, I gave it to God, and He made it great. Put me in good soil and took out the snakes.